Hi, this is Jenny Oya with Nuggets and Things. Today we want to talk about, loving. A lot of times we hear people talking about, how much they love you, how much you love them, and we use that word so loosely, so freely, and sometimes, we use it without even thinking. I sing a song. It says, let me see, love me like you do. Love me like you do. And that's when they're loving you right. When the love is good and it's genuine and it's unconditional. A lot of people don't know about unconditional love. They have conditions on their love. Their love is based on how they feeling, how they think you're making them feel. So they're giving all those different kind of, plays inside of the love, right? When you can love somebody unconditionally, it means you're gonna love their highs and lows, their good and their bad, right? You meet somebody and you find out they have some some faults, some things about them that you don't like, but because you love them, you can deal with those things and you can love and absorb those things too as you work through. Now, I'm not telling you, and I know a lot of women love to do this. I'm not telling you, to find somebody that has a lot of things you don't like from the gate, right? But you are accepting them in hopes to change that because now you're looking at a project, you know. And we as women many times search out and seem like a lot of times we find these projects. And a project is somebody you think you can change. If I do a little this, I dab a little here, I dab a little there, they're gonna turn out to be exactly what I want. If I dress them like this, if I put them in that, if I help them get this done, if I do, it's a project because they didn't come all, to you. You'll be all right if you had this, if you could do that, already. If they don't qualify to what you're looking for from the beginning, the project you're getting ready to take on down the road, now not all the time, but down the road, most of the time, you're going to find out you have worked and you have worked and you're not getting any interest back on it. It was just a bad investment. And relationships are about investments. They are an investment. When I go on my job, I'm building a relationship on that job. I'm finding my place there. I'm finding the things that I love. There's some things I don't like, but there's some things I love about it. The people that come in there, that I gravitate towards and vice versa. And that becomes a relationship. Now, I choose whether or not I want to be stable in that relationship. I want to feel secure in that relationship. When that relationship doesn't give me the security that I want, I don't know how long I'm gonna stay because I seek security. and everybody has their own thing they look for. What you're looking for, what you looking for. Whatever you're looking for, that's what you're gonna be seeking. But now we're talking about love because today I had something come back to my mind that I wanted to just share, and that was I remember I'm going to say maybe 20 years ago, maybe could be a little back 17, but anyway, in that time frame, I remember being in a relationship with a man who said how much he loved me, and he said, "Yeah, I love you." And I said, "No, you don't." He said, "I do love you." I said, "No, you really don't." He said, "You can't tell me how I feel." I said, "Technically, I can." I can. Let me tell you how I can tell you that you don't love me. Because in order for you to love me, you must first love yourself. And you don't love you. He said, "Why you say that?" I said, "I'm watching you. I see the things that you do. You can't love you and do the things you do to your own self, right? Now you're talking about bringing in another factor, me. And you're trying to tell me how much you love me. Now, let's stop everything you're doing. And based on everything you have done, tell me how that equates to love. Because love, when you love somebody, you're seeking to make them happy, right? You don't want to do things, to rock the boat, so they say, right? And so, you're not going to go out and do something that's going to cause a problem in the relationship. Not, not purposely. And we all make mistakes. We all have, you do silly stuff sometimes, right? You go out there and you may hang out too late. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you are violating a relationship, you're jeopardizing, what you have. You're gambling with, if I do this, maybe I won't get caught, whatever. And I said, look, and if you think it's love, if you think that is love, I'm telling you, it's not the kind of love I want. It's not the kind of love I need. And it's not the kind of love that's going to keep me happy. So I'm not going to stay put because I don't feel the love. Now, he said to me one day, he said, I don't understand why you feel you have to leave. I said, well, what? Let me break it down a little bit more for you. Look at me sharing my life. I said, look, talk to you about, let me tell you something. I said, let's say somebody owns a dog, and I'm not definitely comparing myself to a dog, but I'm using it as an example, right? This is what I'm saying to him. I'm using it as an example. You got a dog that you say you love. That's a dog that you say you love. Now you're going to feed it and you're going to give it water, and you're going to do it every single day because you love your dog. You want your dog to be able to eat and to drink. You're going to give it comforts because you love your dog, right? Now, what happens when you leave your dog for a whole week? No water, no food, but you left that dog enclosed in a fence, right? People could walk by and see the dog, but the dog could not get any water or any food because you gone, right? So who's going to take care of the dog? Well, guess what? A neighbor across the street noticed that you've been gone for a long time and noticed the dog has not been fed. So the neighbor decides to get a bucket, put some water in it, and put it across the fence so your dog can have some water. And then get a bowl and fill it with some dog food so your dog can eat. Now, that neighbor starts to come by every day to check on the dog, make sure the dog got some food and some water. And that's not that dog. It's your dog. But you left your dog unattended and ain't fed it and gave it no water. Now, you come home a week later and come here, Skippy. Come here, Skippy. Come on, Skippy. And Skippy looking at you like, and now the neighbor walks past, right, to say hey to you. And Skippy goes a smiling and jumping on the fence at the neighbor. Now you upset because Skippy likes the neighbor more than Skippy likes you because your dog. But somehow or another, you have neglected your dog that you said you love, have not fed it, you have not gave it any water, you haven't rubbed it, you ain't spent no time with it, you done going off in the sunset, and the neighbor has noticed your dog has been unattended. And so the neighbor says, let me take care of your dog. Just being friendly and nice and taking care of your dog for you, who love your dog, Skippy. Now you mad because Skippy ain't studying you now. And Skippy wants the neighbor to take him out of the fence so he can stay with the neighbor because the neighbor has showed some compassion. The neighbor has spent some time. The neighbor has fed Skippy and gave Skippy some water. Now you got mad with the neighbor. Why are you over there feeding Skippy? I don't want you feeding Skippy. And the neighbor says, yo, man, I'm trying to help you out. I ain't studying Skippy. I just know the dog is out here that's hot, and I'm trying to help the dog for you. I'm helping you with your dog. I don't want you feeding Skippy. If I'm gone a month, you leave Skippy alone, man. If you gone for a whole month, I'm going to feed Skippy. And Skippy's going to have some water. And look, if you don't want Skippy, let me get Skippy because you can't be leaving that dog unattended like that. That was my example. He looked at me. He says, so who been feeding you? Example, I'm telling you, you cannot tell somebody how much you love them and you're not taking care of them and you're not spending time with them and you're not doing things with them to make them smile, make them happy. I mean, a relationship got all them kind of, components to it. It ain't just you talking about I love you, and I come over, every once in a while. No, there is a building. Now, to you giving some love, but to them, you giving them scraps. This is scraps, honey. This is, look, leftover stuff. You ain't even giving me your best. Look at that. Look at how I took and rolled that story up in there. Told you I'm a storyteller. When you have this love, this genuine love you say for a person, there are things that you're going to do to make that person know that they're loved. If somebody has to question you and ask you, do you still love me? If they ever have to ask you that, then they have questioned your love. And if they have questioned your love, it means you're not giving them what they want. So when somebody says to you, do you still love me? Flags should go up immediately. Bing, bing, bing. They just telling me something. And now see, you can be unattended if you want to. Now you can be unattended and you don't know what they're talking about. And okay, do your thing. Or something to say, wait a minute, why would they say that to me? Unless they feel like I'm not, okay, so let me go back and figure out what I've changed, what I'm not doing, what they need from me, right? Because, someone asked me one day, said, here I go again. My brother loves you. I said, your brother? Oh, Lord. Your brother think he loves me. He think he loves me. But see, your brother is loving me the way he wants to love me. He's not loving me the way I want to be loved. And there is a difference. You must love somebody the way they want to be loved, not the way you want to love them. And I know y'all say, they don't, they should just accept it. No, they don't have to accept what you give them if it's not satisfying them. And when somebody tells you that's not satisfying them, then you say you love them, you're going to do what you can to make sure they're satisfied. Now, that's automatic, just math. That's just math. I ain't even going to stay on that point. That's just math. That's just math. And somebody tells me I cook breakfast and they tell me I don't like eggs. But now they have put me on notice. They don't like eggs. Now tomorrow morning when I make breakfast, I will not make them eggs because they already done told me. I'm on notice. They don't like eggs. So why would I serve eggs again the next day when they done told me they don't eat eggs? They don't like eggs, whatever the reason may be. And I say that I want to please you. I want to make you happy. Why would I serve you eggs when you done already told me you don't do eggs? Come on, y'all. Come on, work with me. Come on, that makes sense, right? Come on, math, right? So if somebody tells you what you're doing, it makes you feel good, but it's not pleasing the person who you're trying to please, then that's a wake-up call, right? And I heard a series a long time ago. Juanita Bynum and her husband, they did a series called Teach Me How to Love You. Teach me how to love you. Because a lot of times people are loving you where they are, not where you are, but where they are. And if you come from an environment or whatever, sometimes a past relationship, because you've been bruised, because you've been hurt, because somebody has taken advantage of you, because somebody, has done you wrong, right? You bring that weight, that baggage into the next relationship, then you are now scarring that person with something that happened to you from past, and which is unfair, right? And you're wondering why they're not happy with that kind of love, because that love is not satisfying because you're not even satisfied with it, because you're not giving them your best. You got to give somebody your best when you say you love them. Because, come on now. Those of you who are parents, good parents now, you will always try to make sure you give your children the best you can. The best. And if your child says to you, Mama, I don't like that kind of ice cream. Mama, I don't like going over to Mr. Jones' house. Mama, I don't like doing such a thing. When they talk to you, they're communicating to you that there's something that is coming to their life that they found out is not enjoyable to them. So why would you introduce them back to something they told you they don't like? And that's your child. Now you're talking about going into a relationship with somebody who you're trying to build a relationship with. And they're telling you, I don't like this. I don't eat that. I don't go to those places. I don't indulge in this kind of thing. Whatever it is, when they are communicating, and relationship is about communication, right? We're talking, trying to figure out how we can make it. Can we make it? Is it possible? This is fresh relationship. And I don't care if you've been in one for 10 years. Because sometimes when you're in a relationship for a long time, people do change. And what used to make them happy when they was a teenager or the 20s and 30s may not make them happy now. And when they change, you got to be able to adjust to those changes, vice versa. You got to be able to understand communication, communicating and seeing just what a person loves, what they enjoy, what they want to do. I am an outdoor person a lot of times. I like to get on the go-karts. I like to ride the go-karts. I like to ride four-wheelers, things of that nature. And a guy told me one day, he says, he was smitten by me, right? I'm telling you, y'all, if I ain't transparent today, y'all better work with me. And he said, I'm smitten by you, and I said, smitten, what is that? He said, first time I saw you, blasey, blasey. I said, oh, okay, right? So anyway, and so he said, what do you like doing? And I told him things I enjoy doing. I shoot pool. I ride my motorcycle. I do this, I do that. And I'm talking about things I enjoy doing, right? He was like maybe 15 years older than I was. And I'm, probably like 50s or something, So anyway, he says, I kind of like stay home, I do that. I said, oh, okay. I said, cool. Well, I ride my bike, and he says, well, I would watch you ride the bike. I said, how you gonna watch me ride a motorcycle? You want me to ride it in the yard, round and round in circles? I don't do them. I'm getting ready to take the highway, and I'm getting ready to ride out so the wind can blow at my hair. So how are we getting ready to build something on the fact that first, I might ask you to ride, but I don't want you to confine me. See, already, your words already spoke volume to me. You're going to watch me ride the motorcycle. How are you going to watch me ride a motorcycle? Because a motorcycle is not going to sit in the yard. I'm talking about taking my bike out in the country, in another city, wherever I want to go. And now you can't watch me unless you're going to ride your vehicle beside me and watch me ride a motorcycle, which I think is totally ridiculous. I ain't asked you to ride with me, but now, make some sense out of that, right? So when he said that, I said, ooh, that sounds like, you're already trying to lock me down. And I don't do them. Don't lock me down, right? Because you can't go. Because, if there's something you enjoy doing, you like going horseback riding, or you involved with the chess with some guys, y'all go out there, y'all swimming, y'all fishing, whatever it is y'all like doing, that man thing, your man cave, I ain't mad. Enjoy yourself. Have at it. Go 2-3 days. I don't care. Because of what you enjoy doing. And I support what you like doing because you was doing it before you met me. Why would I change that and say I love you? I can't love you and try now to confine you or trying to restrict you from what you love. I would never do that. And don't. Because I don't want you to do it to me. When I want to go and I say I want to go to the water and I want to ride out of town and stay for the weekend down to the beach and you can't go because you're working or you can't go because you don't feel like it. I don't want you to tell me, well, I don't feel like going. You don't need to go. Won't do them. So anyway, so we talk about love and, loving somebody is, you take those restrictions off. You understand what you got, who you got. And then you say, can I flow with you? Can I make it with you? Can we build something together based on what we're learning about each other? And sometimes you can and sometimes you can't. And when you can't, come to that conclusion quick, fast, and in a hurry. Don't waste people's time because relationships is about investments. You are investing your time, sometimes your money, all this goes into a relationship. And I don't like wasting none of my time and definitely none of my money if it ain't going nowhere. So let's, it's just ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. We just, we don't value the same thing. We don't see whatever it may be. Or you might tell me the same thing. I ain't mad with you because because you look at me and say you ain't what I'm looking for. Okay, cool. I mean, you ain't broke my heart or nothing. You know, you see that line back there? Mm. Yeah, stop. Stop. I'm messing with y'all. But anyway, you know, get to a place in your life when someone says, I love you, or if you say you love someone, you know, there's a why to it. Why do you love them? And for that reason that you love them, if if that changes, does it change your love? I love you because, you know, you do this, you do that. What happens when they stop doing that? Does your love change? Because people are going to change in life. As they get older, things change. You know, sometimes the place that you live in is going to change. Sometimes the income is going to change. You know, sometimes your health is going to change. You know, sometimes you know, just your physical, you know, attributes is going to change. You know, people gonna gain weight, they're gonna lose weight. You know, things are gonna change. You're gonna lose hair, gain hair. All kinds of stuff is gonna happen in a person's life. But if you're really loving them, those things that you know that change should not change your love. Because I love you. I love your being. Not because you drive a nice car, not because you live in a nice home, not because I see that you know you're financially stable, not because you know I see this. No, I love you because of you. And if you lose all of that, I'm gonna still love you because I love you, right? And that's what love is supposed to be. You know, love me like you do. And love me like you do, basically saying this, if you are loving me good and you are making me feel good and I am very secure with that love, then keep loving me like you do. Now, that song changes now. You ain't loving me right. You know, don't love me like you do, because that kind of love you got, some love that people think they're giving you is painful. It hurts. It keeps you crying. It keeps you disappointed. It's very toxic. That ain't love. They think it is, but it's not love. But they use that word, love, when in essence, it's not love at all. So when someone says, I love you, you know, make sure you understand what they are loving and who they're loving, and vice versa. When you tell somebody you love them, why? Why are you loving them? What is it about them that makes you want to be with them? You know, that you know, you want to inhale them every second of the day. You know, I'm not talking about being possessive. I'm talking about, you know, just knowing that they're in your life makes you feel good. No, not. I can turn a page right there. Having somebody that you love in your life does not mean they got to be in your presence all day, or they can be gone for a whole month or two, but your love has not changed. It hasn't moved not one iota, because the love is real. You see? And when you love somebody, it doesn't matter where they are or you are. You just love them, you know. And your love is true and it's faithful. You know, it's loyal. You know, I'm not loving you because you can see me. I'm loving you because it is what I do. And whether you see me or not, I'm gonna still be loving just you. You know what I mean? That's what I like people to say to me. You not just say it, but I mean be that. Because that's what I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be down to the very core loving you. And I want that same thing. Because that's where love's supposed to be. Right? And yesterday, yesterday, at last. Oh, stop, Jenny. Yesterday, I visualized myself with a diamond ring on my finger. I said, somebody's getting ready to find me. Lord, and look, when they do, they're going to say, they going to find me. You hear me? And I'm going to be talking to you about it. Somebody finally said, whew, I found her. I don't know if I'm going to keep her or not. See? But I had this vision of this diamond ring. I said, girl, what you doing looking at it? I mean, I wasn't in no store. All of a sudden, I saw a diamond ring on my finger. You hear what I'm telling you? And I'm telling you, I don't see stuff for nothing. When I see something, something's about to happen. Something's about to pop off. And I'm going to be a part of it. Because somebody going to love me. I know y'all be saying, what's her point? I have several of them. And seriously, you know, I come to tell you, truly, really, when somebody loves you, that love, it don't change because, you know, you get older, because you gain a little weight, because you got some bulges, because you done lost this and you ain't got that drive again. And, you know, things change in your life. You know, anything can happen. right? You can be walking into the store, slip and fall, mess your back up, mess your leg up, lose a finger, whatever happens. When it happens, when he's talking about, I'm going to love you whether you're sick or you're healthy, you're good or you're bad, whether you're rich or you're poor. Those words have more power than you know. And when you realize that that's the only love that you won't accept anything less than that. I've had a lot of people tell me how much they love me, and the way they treated me versus what they said. No. And I never allow somebody to stay in my life and treat me any kind of way under the name of love. And you say, well, yeah, I will walk because I know my worth. I know my value. And you're not going to make me feel less about myself because you are treating me less than where I need to be treated. And vice versa. I watch a lot of men be mistreated by women. I mean, good men, good men. And then they don't know how, to move on after that because they have been, really mistreated by somebody they love. Same thing happened with women. And sometimes you can't move forward because you're still stuck there. You got to loose that baggage. I think Erica Badu, somebody, the bag woman, bag lady, talking about carrying this baggage. Let go of this stuff. Get free from the stuff before you even think about getting in a relationship. Let me just pause for a minute. Before you think about getting in a relationship, get rid of any baggage, any weights that you know will be a problem in a relationship. Because ain't nobody want to deal with your baggage, your demons, your fighting, your that drama that you got. Deal with that. Make sure that door is closed before you jump in another relationship with somebody. I tell people all the time, no, how long y'all been broke up? I don't do them. Nah, a few months, nah, I don't do them. Now, they still got a hold on you, and you still ain't gotten over them. And I'm not getting in the middle of it. I don't do them. No. I got restrictions on certain things. No, I don't do them. You need time to yourself to make sure you are ready to love somebody. And you have gotten rid of the old. You have closed that door. I mean, you have closed it. You have secured it. I'm not worrying about down the road somebody knock on the door again and says, "I'm back," and I really missed you. I didn't think I thought it was over, but it wasn't. No, because see now you're putting a whole lot of dynamics in there that shouldn't be there, and hurting people should not be a part of your life. If you have not ridden yourself of a past relationship, do that before you try to get a new one. You still married? you know, when we getting a divorce, but you got the divorce. Getting one and have one is two different things. No. Now some of y'all, hey, I'm saying for me, if y'all want it, hey, well, they've been separated 3 years. How come they ain't been divorced then? What's the problem? Well, she won't give it to him, or he won't give it to her. Let me tell you something. They got a thing called uncontested divorces. You can't tell me about them, honey. I'm telling you, I know things. And they don't have to want you to be divorced. If you want a divorce, you can get one. And they got 45 days to contest it. And you can fight that too. But it ain't no 3 years, baby. So if you're still in it after 3 years, you still want something part of that relationship. That's why you have not severed it. I don't do them. I don't do them. Because that's room for people to get back in. Well, because of the children. It's because, well, honey, look, you should not. I ain't got time. Look, whatever the reason is, if you guys have strings attached, whatever those strings are, but that's me. You do your thing. I like drama-free stuff. I don't do petty, don't do drama, and I don't do messy, because I know who I am. First of all, I know my worth, I know my value, and I know my temperament. And I don't play. If people tic-tacking with me about, that's yours. Yeah, we still together. Hold, give me a second. Hey, y'all still together? Bounce. Because I don't do them. Because I just don't do it. And y'all say that's why she's still single. And have you heard me complaining? I ain't complaining. I bet I got a diamond coming though. And look, stay tuned. I'm gonna have me a diamond coming. And it might not be Christmas, but it'll be a diamond coming. Somebody gonna say, "Oh, girl." Anyway, I hope you know what? I found out something. When you hear me laughing and you see me smiling, it makes you laugh and make you smile too. And most importantly, it makes you think. All I want you to do is be able to think. Just to be able to say, you know what? It makes sense. Because sometimes we will settle for a relationship just to say that we're not alone. And sometimes being alone is the best place you need to be because you need to be in love with you. That if you're alone, it doesn't bother you. I left a funeral today, and I went out to eat to this restaurant. I was going to just grab the plate and take it home. I said, no, I'm going to grab a table. So they gave me this booth by myself. And I'm sitting in the booth eating, and I felt so good. I didn't feel alone. I didn't feel alone. I didn't feel like, oh, I wish somebody was here. No, I sat at that table, and I went, I got my plate, went back, got a second. you know, I'm paying for it. I'm eating when I want to eat, taking my time to eat it, drinking my little Pepsi, and, and enjoying the scenery. And then I met this lady at the booth in front of me, and we had a conversation, right? And we started talking, and she was talking with somebody else before me, but he got up to get some food, and so we started conversating. And I said, "Ain't it nice to be able to meet people and you can talk to them?" And it's this way it is. But I say that to say this: if you don't like being by yourself, you can't go nowhere by yourself. You can't go to the movies. You can't go to the store. You can't go to the restaurant. You can't go somewhere because you got to have somebody on your arm all the time. You need to check you. You need to check you because you need to check you. Really, I understand everybody. Everybody does not like to be alone. I understand that. My mother, she didn't like being alone, so my sister stayed with her because she didn't like being by herself. Because she never had to be. She went from her home to her children. And then she was married for 60 some years. So when he passed, she needed somebody in the house because she wasn't used to be by herself. She didn't like being by herself. So we accommodated her and have my sister stay there, which is fine. But I don't have a problem being by myself. And I ain't got a problem being with somebody. But if I'm going to be with somebody, it's going to be with somebody I love and somebody who loves me. And it's not going to be a whole, because I'm telling you, uh, I done got to a place in my life now. I ain't putting up with mess. Cause I be okay by myself. You hear me? I can take good care of me. Look at me. I take good care of me. So if you come in, now understand I've been taking good care of me before you. Okay, don't come in here trying to mistreat me. And I love y'all. I love y'all so much. Because y'all put up with me and I appreciate it. But I'm also, I'm talking some truths, right? And I can only give you little bits and nuggets, just bits of it. 'Cause I can't sit here and give you a whole 2 or 3 hours about love because y'all patience ain't that long, you know, and your attention span ain't long. But I want to give you enough to make you think. If you're in love with somebody and they're in love with you, I am just elated. And I bask with you with that because it's a beautiful thing to have somebody love you for you and you love them too. And I look at relationships all the time. I watch people and I smile when I hear they've been together 30 years, 40 years, 20 years, 10 years. And I listen to them brag about their mate, their loved one. And I love it. I value that because it means a lot to me, you know. But in the same token, I listen to people in relationships that I know that are toxic and it is destroying their life. And you listen to it and you're about to be in tears. But there's nothing you can do until they get tired, right? But between my life and my life stories has made me the person who I am today, who would tell you that I would never settle again because settling put me in some bad, bad, bad places. And I never go dark again. I would never go dark again for a relationship. So it is the reason why I do what I do and I say what I say. And I mean it because I know what love is now because I love me. I love me. ILOVE, love me. And you have to love me like you do. And it has to be true, and it has to go through me because I got to feel it. I got to know it. That's it. Then you put that ring on my finger. Anyway, you be blessed. Have a powerful day. Fill it with nothing but love and a whole lot of light and a whole lot of peace because that's what you need. All those things is the best thing you could ever have. Be awesome today. Be wonderful. And I thank you so much for your time. Thumbs up. It means you enjoy me, right? Subscribe if you haven't. Tell somebody if you need to. Say, I know a lady that can tell you something. And I know things. Love you so much. Be blessed. Talk to you later. Blessings.